So hi, hello and welcome again. Microbehunter here, and today in this video I would like to make the case that we humans are quite similar to this insect over here. That's a flea. This might sound a little bit strange, but do hear me out, because indeed the further we look down into the micro world, the more similar we living things become to each other. I would like to explain this a little bit, but I would like to start off actually with a story first, and we have to turn back the time approximately 30 years. I just started to study at university, and my father, may he rest in peace, was a manager. My father was a manager. He really didn't have anything to do with sciences so much. I studied at that time microbiology, and soon after I started my studies, he came to me and he asked me, this normal father-son talk. I mean, what are you actually learning at university? And I basically tried to explain to him, well, we just learned today that essentially there are certain common features in all living things. I tried to really simplify the language so that he's gonna understand this. And a little bit to my surprise, he didn't even let me finish the sentence, but he immediately got very upset and emotional about that. Really to my surprise, and he said this, well, do you actually want to say that we humans are similar to rats? I was a little bit dumbfounded. I didn't know what to say. That's basically, he said, do you actually want to say that we humans are similar to rats? Yeah. For whatever reason, he didn't like rats. Rats kept on reappearing over and over again during our conversations. And then I did not continue the conversation because there's not a lot of point in continuing a conversation when people get emotional. But actually, rats are not a very good example because indeed, we humans are very similar to rats. I'm an animal. The rat is an animal. Not only that, I'm a mammal. The rat is a mammal. So there are actually a lot of common features. As a matter of fact, even medicine is tested on rats because some of the knowledge that on medical testing can be transferred from a rat then also back to a human. Yeah, but essentially it's even worse because worse under quotation marks because we humans are also similar to those fleas, and that's basically what I would like to explain to you today. And I would like to simply do the following. I would like to now zoom in quite a bit into the flea here, and then I'm going to show you another microscope slide that I have. Here it is, of some human tissue, and let's see if we're able to find a couple of similarities. So currently, you can see the microscope objective that I'm using up there, and I'm just going to now go up with the magnification, and we're going to zoom in quite a bit. I always have to turn up the light, of course, and then I'm going to switch on the arrow as well, because there are a couple of features that I would like to point to. So we're going to be looking at into one of those legs here. For those of you who have already watched some of my videos know that this is probably one of my more favorite type of specimens to look at, because what we see in here, inside the leg here, we see in here these are muscles, right? And you see that how these muscles attach to the outside of the insect. It's called the exoskeleton. Exo meaning on the outside. On the inside, we have those muscles. And you probably already are able to see, this is now with a 40 times objective, that there are these stripes. They're called the light and the dark bands. And that's very typical of muscle. Let's go up with the magnification yet further. Because we can maybe see it yet better. And here we can actually see those stripes. Let's focus a little bit more. So here we are. These are the light and the dark bands, which is typical of so-called striated muscle. That's why essentially it's called striated, because of these stripes, right? And you can actually not only see them here. Let's go to a different leg. Actually here we're able to see them even better. You have to carefully focus here. So see over here again those stripes. And as a matter of fact, this is not only something that we're able to see in a flea, but also in human muscle, and that's the next thing that I would like to show you. So that's basically the slide here. That's the skeletal muscle of a human being. Okay, so let's put that under the microscope. Yeah, and this is now the striated muscle of a human being under the microscope, and you can see again here quite nicely the so-called the light and the dark bands. Yeah, and this basically shows that we scientists, what we try to do is we try to find commonalities. This basically means common rules, common theories, an explanation that is able to cover a lot of different observations, and essentially this may set up a little bit the way how a scientist thinks from other people, maybe because other people might see the differences, place an emphasis on the differences, but scientists like to find common ground, and they try to find, they try to simplify nature and not make it more complicated. Yeah, and let's go back a little bit into history as well, because of course this has been known, those stripes have already been known for quite a long time. We actually can go back a couple of hundred years. I would like to show you something here. So let's put the rat away. Yeah, it's this guy over here. Yeah, he Antonie van Leeuwenhoek. He was a Dutch microscopist. He made his own microscopes at that time. He was actually one of the first ones who actually did this systematically, and I found his publications online. And he was also able to see those stripes. Now the English is a little bit difficult to read, but he saw those stripes, flesh particles, so pieces of meat, yeah, flesh, and he thought that these stripes are actually like rings, and almost like a wire wrapped around something. And then he put those flesh particles, the meat particles, the muscle of different animals under the microscope, and he discovered something quite interesting. He was astonished. Yeah, I was above measure astonished that these my observations, having always imagined that the flesh particles of very great creatures, such as the whale is, should have been composed of greater parts in proportion than others. So what he actually thought is, well, maybe big animals, they should have stripes that are also bigger than, for example, insects, because he also put insects under the microscope. And he was very astonished to see that, well, actually, when we go and zoom in a lot, then essentially the structures appear to be in a very similar size. Even though the animals themselves are so extremely different. So this is something that I would sometimes like to clarify, and I have got another example here. That's the following. Look, I put a couple of geometric shapes here. Some people are going to say, yeah, of course, they are different shapes, so you can categorize them maybe whether they are symmetrical or not, or whether how many corners they have. This one has no corners, this one has 5 corners, and so on. You get the idea. And what does a scientist say? A scientist says, well, that's all the same anyway. Yeah, who cares about the shape? Because if you put it under the microscope, let's have a look. Well, under the microscope, it's just ink on paper. It's all the same. Yeah, who cares about the different shapes? I mean, if we look at the core of it, it's pretty much all the same. It's just some ink on some paper. Yeah, and maybe this little illustration should also demonstrate how scientists and how maybe people who do not like to think quite as scientific, how they view the world differently. It's a different paradigm, as one would say. I know it's kind of a little bit a generalization to categorize society into scientists and non-scientists. It's way too simplistic. But if you understand that there are different people out there that have a different worldview, and that there are people out there who see reality differently, not better or worse, but simply differently than other people, then maybe this also helps a little bit in understanding each other a little bit better. I'm trying to now go a little bit maybe off topic too much. You know what? I'm going to leave it at that. Leave your own comments behind. I invite feedback. Of course, I invite you also to subscribe to the channel to support it. I wish you all the best. Happy microbe hunting as always, and see you around next time. Bye bye.